Movie review before bed because there's no such thing as too many movies. Um, I actually rushed home from Good Time in order to watch The Hard Way, which was directed by Vincent Sherman and starred the one, the only Ms. Ida Lupino. It's Ida Lupino playing the sister of Joan Leslie in a story somewhat inspired by the relationship between Ginger Rogers, her mother, and Ginger's first husband. In this case, Ida Lupino playing the older sister of Joan Leslie, two working class women in a backwater town. Ida got married way too young, right out of high school. She's trying to help her kid sister. Her husband is kind of a deadbeat. Her kid sister has a little bit of talent. She's not very good. She goes to see, as a graduation present, she goes to see vaudeville, and there she meets Jack Carson. Nothing is ever good when the love interest is Jack Carson, just so you know. So Katie, played by Joan Leslie, falls for Jack. Jack falls for her. They end up getting married super fast because that's what happens in these kind of movies. And Ida comes with them, leaves her deadbeat husband behind, and they go off in the showbiz world. Also with Jack Carson is Dennis Morgan, because it's Jack Carson and Dennis Morgan, and they made like 5 movies together. Dennis Morgan's character sees everything about Ida Lupino's character, Helen. He sees that she is conniving. He sees that she is using her sister to get them both up in life and everyone else be damned. He's a little turned on by how conniving and sort of cold she is. But they aren't able to really make anything work because, that's not how this is going to work. And obviously, as Lupina's character pushes her sister to go further and further, all of these relationships are going to explode, because that's how this kind of film works. I don't want to say how it ends, but it has a nice happy ending with a lot of sad stuff in the middle. It's high melodrama. I think I said yesterday that I am a big fan of high melodrama. This is high melodrama with just a dash of noir, and it's shot by James Wong Howe, so it looks beautiful. The producer was Jerry Wald, so it's up there with Millard Pierce and some of his other mid-40s films. Vincent Sherman, I think, directed, what did he do? I'm thinking The Damned Don't Cry, Harriet Craig, and Goodbye My Fancy with Joan Crawford. He did a lot of those. Oh, he's from Georgia. He did a lot of those sort of women's pictures from the 40s. He did The Unfaithful and Nora Apprentice, 1947, double feature of amazingness. He did Old Acquaintance. Oh, he's done so many great movies. If you want to see one of those great, women's directors, Vincent Sherman, look at his filmography, check out his films. Lupino's fantastic in this. She was always sort of considered the poor man's Bette Davis. She called herself that. This was a film that was passed up by both Bette Davis and Ginger Rogers. I don't think either of them would have done as great a job with this role as Lupino. Lupino has such a unique presence, and she was just so ahead of her time. And you really see it in films like this, where she really gets to shine, even if it is a little preposterous. This is fantastic. If you're in Canada, TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival, their Lightbox Theatre is still doing a retrospective of Lupino, and you can see some of her films, both that she directed and that she starred in, and you should go check them out. There's, I think, 3 screenings left. And this was on Summer Under the Stars for Dennis Morgan. I've never been a huge Dennis Morgan fan, but he was very attractive in this film, and I liked sort of how messed up his character was. I don't particularly care for the ending, but what are you going to do? So, you can also get this film from Warner Archive Collection. This is 1943's The Hard Way.